Hello, welcome to Andy's Little Sci-Fi Horror Show. My name's Andy.
And I'm Drew.
This is our little 10-minute window to the rest of the world, and right now we are on the road. We're currently heading to one of our favorite places to buy movies.
Movie style.
This is an excellent place to get movies, because you can get the kind of crap that we watch and have on our video shelves for like $5 a pop, sometimes like $2 a pop. Nobody wants the crap that we watch. And I was just pondering the thought of how great the special effects films when we grew up were. Predating CGI, and how they use what they call prosthetic effects and practical effects to make epic stories that stay with us our whole lives. And it's part of our imagination.
And,
yes!
Tracking shots and all, and rotoscoping.
Everything that is done in the computer was done in actuality. Like real rubber puppets, real creatures. And I think one of the greatest achievements in the horror sci-fi genre of this is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Men have just discovered something. For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice. Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. And then it's won.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? He can be one of those things!
That movie has got puppet creature effects perfection.
My favorite scene in that movie, the first scene where you really see the creature, is the scene with the dogs.
And he's face splits open like a banana. That actually was right there in front of the camera. They were filming that. That was there, not CGI.
It's really probably one of the best sci-fi movies made in the last 30 years.
If you haven't seen this movie, you have to see it. And I think one of the biggest scenes that gets people who watch it for the first time every time is the electrodes. And then they shock the body, and I won't say what happens, but
this is what happens.
Clear!
Clear.
Enough said.
Awesome. If that doesn't want to make you watch the movie and you haven't seen it, or rewatch it because you've seen it, you don't have a pulse.
My other favorite science fiction movie back in the day before computer effects, it's more of an 80s actioner. Mm-hmm. It's not the greatest movie of the 80s. Go figure. But it's got one of my favorite actors, Arnold. And of course I'm talking about Total Recall.
Welcome to Mars.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
Look who's talking.
They erased your identity and implanted a new one.
If I'm not me, who the hell am I?
Welcome to Johnny Cab. Drive! Where can I take you tonight? Please fasten your seatbelt. I want clay delivered alive for reimplantation.
That's for making me come to Mars. You wouldn't hurt me. After all, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
Yes, this movie was a blend of cutting-edge effect. It used everything.
It was directed by Paul Verhoeven. Mm-hmm. It was based on a Philip K. Dick story. Mm-hmm. It was about Arnold Schwarzenegger is a guy who finds out that he's not really who he thinks he is. He finds out he's a spy, and he doesn't know which side he's fighting for. And it's an interesting story. It's a great cast. Got Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside in it.
Classy.
Good film. Just a good movie.
Another one in that same genre, same vein is, of course, another one of your personal favorites.
I love this one too, yeah. Blade Runner. This is a Ridley Scott movie.
Yes, so you know it's good.
Thank you, Ridley Scott rules.
Based on another Philip K. Dick story, actually.
Yeah. It was during this time span when if a writer got a successful movie from one of his novels, they milked him to death.
Yes, they did.
Well,
It
that
has
was-
Harrison Ford in it, Sean Young, Rutger Hauer.
He could always get good names for his movies too.
Yes, it's definitely a really interesting film. I have the final cut. That's that
Yeah,
buy now.
The final.
There's like 3 or 4 different versions.
3 or 4. What?
Well, there's one that's the theatrical where he has the voiceover, and there's the one that's like the director's cut. I like them all.
Yeah, and it's the director stubbed his toe one night and decided to change the cut one night version, and then there's the black and white version, and there's the version with the clowns and the.
No, there isn't.
You know, the version with the CGI building blowing up.
Whatever version it is, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's got Daryl
Get the new
Hannah.
one. Just cut right to the chase and get the new DVD cut.
It's definitely worth having in your DVD collection. I really like Blade Runner simply because it's the environment. It's very film noirish.
The tone is awesome.
It's very reminiscent of those 1940s, 1930s and film.
But it's
noir
future
movies.
sci-fi. It's
Exactly.
bizarre. But yeah, you're right. It does have that kind of. We almost want to hear like the saxophone in the background going.
Yeah.
She walked into my office.
I know exactly.
It's classy. It really is. But moving on in an entirely different direction is another film. It's part of our childhood imagination and memory, far before CGI was even a reality in anybody's mind. Yeah, I believe it was 1984. Around the same time as Clash of the Titans, but a little bit more mainstream Hollywood edge. Legend.
There is a balance to the universe. The struggle to maintain that balance is the stuff of legends. For there can be no good without evil, no love without hate. Life needs death. Innocence creates lust. There can be no heaven without hell, no light without me. I am darkness.
Starring
Tom Cruise.
Yes, back in the day when nobody knew who the hell he was. He had a name, but nobody knew.
He was like a really unknown actor back then. And Ridley Scott actually directed that too.
Yes, he was the man back then.
Thank you, Ridley Scott rules.
And then Tim Curry plays the devil in this movie.
Can you speak, sir, of your bridal gown?
And it's awesome. You look at it now and you say, wow, it's really, really hokey. But, and how could anybody enjoy this?
know.
But us as kids, I mean...
I actually recently watched
Well,
that.
the little pixie light on the string was a little ridiculous. You could see the string the whole time.
I actually remember seeing that again recently. And the whole opening scene where you see, like, Tim Curry as the devil, and he, like, opens his eyes and it's just green, glowing green eyes.
Yes.
That's the other thing about physical effects back then.
Yes.
They really knew how to do them. Like, for example...
Well, the sad thing is they know how to do it now. They're even better now. But unfortunately, it's cheaper to do CGI.
Well, I think part of the problem is they rely on CGI way too much. Everything has to be done CGI. It's a crutch today.
It is. Those fantasy movies of our childhood days really... I mean, I don't think they're ever going to escape us or our generation. Well, on that note, we're running out of battery.
We are?
Yes, and we're almost at our destination anyways. My name's Andy.
I'm Drew.
Keep watching the old classics.
Yes, they're better.
Yeah, I got no argument. They're better.
They are better.
Good night.
Thank you, Ridley Scott rules.